Okay, hello, good morning, C1. How are we? You doing okay? You ready for another day of English? Woo! If you watched a video from yesterday, or if you were live last night, I showed you this exact same lesson plan because today we're doing part 2. So we talked about emphasis in our last video, and today we will be talking about nominalisation. Okay, don't worry if the word scares you. You will soon understand what it is. Okay. So, as always, hello. You can see me again. As always, I'm gonna ask you for a video. Okay. Send us a video. Upload the video to Google Classroom where we can listen to you speaking. Okay. In this case, I'm going to ask you for 4 sentences, okay? I want you to nominalize them, okay? I'm going to give you 4 sentences at the end as your homework, and you're going to convert them, nominalize those sentences. Okie dokie. So, let's get started. Ooh, nominalisation, big scary words, okay? So, what is nominalisation? Very, very simple, okay? Nominalisation is a function which we use typically in our writing, sometimes in speaking, but it's much more typical, much more common in writing. That gives you a bit more of it creates a variety in what you are writing, okay? It gives you the option, it helps you prevent repeating the same thing over and over and over again, using the same verb or using the same word. And just repeating. Okay, so it kind of does that, but then also it helps you convey a bit more of an objective or an impersonal tone in your writing. Okay, so if you don't want to say he did this, you can use nominalisation to make it more objective. Okay. What else does nominalisation is great. It helps you with loads of things. It also helps you be a bit more concise. You can take typically what would be a really long and difficult sentence to read, and it gives you a bit more of that concision of this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and yeah, it's just a bit more abstract and a bit more formal than your typical sentence. Okay, please. So let's get to it. How do we nominalize sentences? Very simple. You typically take a noun phrase, you take a verb or another word and you convert it into a noun phrase. Okay, so it's converting words into nouns and then making them typically the subject of your sentence. So this is very useful as well, aside for your writing skills. For part 3 of your exam, where you have to do word transformation and you have to convert adjectives into nouns, verbs into nouns into adjectives. You know how there's always a word changes. So this is kind of like a technique that could also help you with your word transformation. Hello, Miguel. Good morning. I have a chat with you. I've not forgotten about you. Hello. Okay. So typically, yeah, we turn our verbs into nouns, typically. Okay? So, without further ado, let's get to it. Can you see the board okay? Is it bright? Well, I'm going to start writing, and if it's a bit bright, I will adjust the light. Okay? So, let's go. I'm going to give you, we're going to go through some examples so you understand it. The only way to kind of see this and understand it is through examples. So the class today is going to be very example based. Okay? So student numbers. I always do that. Student numbers are increasing rapidly. Are increasing rapidly from year to year. Okay, they're increasing rapidly. At the university, and the university is becoming concerned. Long sentences because it's C1. Becoming concerned that they may need to build more accommodation. Okay. This is going to be the longest example, longest sentence that we do today. I will make them shorter from now on. Okay? I got very carried away with this very long example. Hello, Claudia. Welcome to the C1 class. Okay, is the light okay? Can you read that? Let me know if the light's okay. I can play around with the lights if you want. Is that better? Is that worse? Let me know what you think, so I can adapt to you. I think that's better, but it looks very small on my computer, so so what we do here is we find the verb. So student numbers are increasing. Okay, here we have the verb, which is increasing. So what we do, so they're increasing rapidly. Okay, because the adverb is defining the verb. So what we have to do is we have to take the adverb, we have to take the verb, and we have to nominalize that. Thank you, Miguel, for saying that it's better, way better. Thank you, Conchi. Okay, so student numbers are increasing rapidly. Okay, as I said, you need the adverb, you need the verb, and you make that the sentence. So very easy. How do you make this a noun? You make the verb a noun, okay? So the noun of increasing would be increase. And then obviously the adverb defines the verb. So what you have to do, what defines a noun? An adjective, okay? So you make the adverb an adjective. And this would become the rapid increase. Okay, the rapid increase. And then it's the increase in something, dependent preposition, increase in. So the rapid increase in student numbers is, so then here the university is becoming concerned. You would have to adapt this as well. So you can become concerned or you can cause concern, okay? So you would say is causing, because it's creating that concern. So is causing concern, okay, at the university. Ooh, that was an 8, not an S, university. Okay, so the rapid increase in student numbers is causing concern at the university. And then you would have to make a second sentence. More accommodation may have to or may need to be built. Okay, for everyone. I'm not going to write the second sentence because it's literally the same. But you would divide this very long sentence into two, and you would make it a noun phrase so that it sounds, as I said, it's a bit more impersonal and it's a bit more objective. Okay, it's just a fact. It is what it is. Okay. So that is a basic example of converting the verb into a noun, and then the adverb that goes with the verb converted into an adjective. Okay. I keep disappearing. I need to remember that the screen is very small. Okay. We'll do a couple more and let's see if you're there and you're paying attention. Let's try and convert them. Okay. There'll be shorter sentences this time that you do not need to make into 2 sentences. Okay. So our next example is about global warming. Yay! So the temperature of the planet is rising as a result of global warming. Okay? See if you can try and nominalize this sentence. Tell me in the chat what you think would be the nominalization of this sentence. Okay? Remember that you have to identify the verb and then convert the verb into the noun phrase. While you do this, I'm going to write the second example so we can keep it flowing and keep it going, okay? So our second example that I also want you to convert is local economic strategies failed to stimulate and sustain economic growth. Which resulted in foreign intervention. Okay, to make these sentences work, you typically need to have something that causes something or something creates something. See what we've got here. Okay, Miguel, the rise of the temperature of the planet is a result of global warming. Okay, almost. A rise is slightly different from rise. What is the difference? Great question. Which I don't think I know the answer to. The rise. Is a rise a word? To arrive as a verb, yes. As a noun, I don't think so. I think the noun is. You always catch me out. Arisal? No, that doesn't sound right. Not too sure. I would have just said the rise, okay, without the A, because it's rising. So we would say the rise. The temperature of the planet is very Spanish, okay? Remember that we typically use the possessive S in English, so we would say of the planet's temperature. Of the planet's temperature is a result of global warming. Okay, very good. Oh, we've got sentence number 2. I'm just going to check with my dictionary what the difference between rise and the rise is. Cambridge Dictionary. Cambridge. Oh. I'm scared of me. I just had some I'm sorry. Can you tell me what the difference between rise and arise is? Thank you. Okay. Checking my dictionary. My dictionary is on the case. Okay, sentence number 2, Miguel, let's see what you said. The failure of local economic strategies to stimulate and sustain economic growth resulted in foreign intervention. Okay, let's see. Gianella, the failure of local economic strategies to stimulate and sustain economic growth resulted in foreign intervention. Fantastic, you are both correct. Okay, so yes. Okay, here you would make failed the noun. Okay, so the failure of, and then you have the subject of this, what failed, the failure of local economic strategies. The Cambridge Dictionary knows the difference between line and run.
Yes.
Would you like to come into the screen and tell us the
I
difference?
see one. Yes, the difference between rise and arise. Okay, things rise. So prices rise.
The temperature.
Temperatures rise. Okay. When something arises, it's problematic. So the problem arises from.
It happens. It occurs.
Yeah. Something happens or something occurs. It arises. Yeah, that's the difference.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And do you know the noun of arise? Doesn't exist. Arisal.
The arising.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
Okay, thank you, Andy.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Cambridge Dictionary. Okay. So yeah, the failure of economic strategies, and then the rest is the same: to stimulate and sustain economic growth, and then you remove this, resulted in foreign intervention. Okay, I'm not going to write the entire sentence. Okie dokie. Very good. C1. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more examples for you. Same system. Okay, I'm going to write the first example. You're going to tell me how to nominalize it in the chat, and then in the meantime, I will give you a second example to start thinking about as well. So, transport for London. Okay, I'm not going to write transport for London. Their abbreviation is TFL. So Transport for London, TFL, will invest £350 million. Okay, next year in refurbishing several tube stations. Okay, nominalize that. It's my favorite sentence to say. Nominalize that. Okay, so identify the verb and make it a noun phrase. And in the meantime, I will give you a second example for you to nominalize as well. So, blended learning divides students. Some accept the newer style of learning, while others reject it. Okay, these are your sentences. Good morning, Inglaterra and Casa. Whoever you are. There's a lot of people logged into the Inglaterra and Casa YouTube account, so it could be a variety of a million people. But hello, good morning. Oh, I think it's Andy. Posting a further explanation of rise and rise below. Okay, thank you, Andy. So yeah, TFL will invest. So for example, TFL will invest £350 million next year in refurbishing several tube stations. Okay, let's see. Here we go. The TFL investment. Here you wouldn't use the article. It wouldn't say the TFL investment. Okay, you would have to say just TFL with no article. It's just TFL. It's the name. Okay, so you don't put like articles in front of names. You would say the Jets. Okay, so just TFL. Again, you would have to use the possessive. Okay, because it's the investment of TFL, the investment done by TFL. Of £350 million. for refurbishing several tube stations. When we realized is to notice something, to see something, not to occur, not to happen. Okay, be careful; it's a false friend from Spanish. Realize in Spanish is to do something. I think in Spanish, I don't know, my Spanish might be off, but to realize in English is to notice something. Okay. The way I have done it, as in yes, the verb is invest. Okay. So mine, I took the time and put it first. So next year's investment. Okay, next year's investment of 300. Oh, I forgot the pound total. 350 million pounds. By Frankfurt to London. Will, because it's happening in the future, so will refurbish several stations. Okay, or you could try and do it the other way. The 350 million pound investment of TfL. TfL, no, you would say by TfL, because when the action is done, when a person does the action, you always introduce the agent of who is doing the action with the preposition by. Okay, so the 350 million investment by TfL will refurbish several tube stations, plural, because it's several, next year. That would also be a possibility. Okay, there's not like one exact way of nominalizing sentences. You can typically, with word order, you can move things around. So yes, that would also be possible. Okay, very good, Janella. Okay, and now our last one. This Andy having a conversation with himself about the difference between slides and the right. For our last sentence, blended learning divides students. Some accept the newer style of learning, while others reject it. Okay? How would you convert this one? How would you adapt this, nominalize this? So you obviously need to find the verb, okay? In this case, I've tried to trick you a little bit, okay, because it's not the first verb that we're going to convert, okay? Gianella says, sorry for the spelling mistakes. It's okay. I know sometimes with the typing fast on the computer, you make typos that you typically wouldn't make. Just be careful, okay? Especially if you're doing your exam on computer-based, because you know you have the option of doing computer-based exams. If you do it computer-based, it's very easy to miss out letters and stuff in your spelling and your typing. So be careful, especially with computer-based exams. Okay. Anyway. The verbs that we are going to convert here, the nouns, the verbs that we're going to convert to nouns are accept and reject. Okay? So you would say acceptance and rejection. Acceptance and rejection. Okay, Miguel has an option. Some accept the newer style of learning while others reject it, creating a division between students caused by blended learning. Create a division. Yeah, you've gone for this one. It's correct. It's not wrong. Okay. You've just taken a different approach from me, but yes, that would also be another possibility. Some accept the newer style of learning, while others reject it, creating a division between students caused by blended learning. I think it's like grammatically it's okay, but I think it's difficult to understand the meaning of what you are trying to say when you phrase a sentence like this. It's caused by blended learning. It's just kind of like, it sounds more natural to say blended learning causes, okay? Just because of the action being done by someone at the end, because it's blended learning, it sounds a bit strange. I think you have to read that sentence maybe 2 or 3 times to understand what you're trying to say. It doesn't flow as naturally. Okay? So either leave it like this, or a different approach that you can take is acceptance and rejection of newer learning styles. Okay? Acceptance and rejection of newer learning styles, such as blended learning, divides students. Okay? That would be my way of conversing this. Acceptance and rejection of newer learning styles, such as blended learning, divides students. Okie dokie. So those are essentially some examples of how to nominalize sentences. Okay. With this, it's just a lot of practice, making things sound fluid and natural, as I said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you your homework task now. Okay. I'm going to write 4 sentences. They're shorter than these. Okay. Well, some of them are. I'm going to give you 4 sentences that I want you to try and nominalize and send us a video telling us the nominalizations of these sentences. You can upload the task onto Google Classroom, okay? Google Classroom, where you will have all the tasks. So, number 1, we evaluated the results and this explains the loss in revenue. Okay. We define business strategy as a long-term plan of action designed, long sentences, nice and complicated, to achieve a particular goal. You'll have this written on your Google Classroom anyway, okay? Just so you know. When you predict the trend of retail sales, I was in a very businessy mode when I made these examples. When you predict the trend of retail sales, it requires information. Such as to analyze market demand. Okay. And the last one, I need to duck down here where you can't see me. The one primary issue to create value in a business business is the one is profits. Okay, very businessy English for you today. Business English is great for nominalization. So these are your 4 example sentences, very long, I know. They will be in Google Classroom. I want you to nominalize these sentences and send us a video. And yes, as Claudia said, as well as the video tasks on Google Classroom, you also have a ton of exercises to practice. Okay? So I will see you again tomorrow morning. Wait. Tomorrow a bit earlier, 10 a.m. Okay? And that was all for today. I hope you've learned how to nominalize your sentences. Remember, it's important for writing to be objective and formal. Okay? I will see you next time. Bye!